Today I'm making a Bounce Zaag kick completely from scratch inside Serum 2. No kick samples, no external layers. Everything you're about to hear comes from one Serum 2 preset. And if you want the exact preset from this video, you can download it completely free from the first link below. This is the final result. We're starting from the Init preset. First, go to Oscillator A and turn random completely down to 0. This makes every note start from the same point in the waveform, which is especially important when we're designing a kick. Now select the wavetable and move the wavetable position to number 2. Then turn the Oscillator A level completely down. At this point, we're going to create the most important part of the entire sound. Create LFO1 and activate envelope mode. This envelope is what creates the bounce. Map it completely to the level of Oscillator A. The beginning of the envelope gives us a very short initial hit. Then the level drops and comes back again to create the second movement. That second movement is what gives the kick that recognizable bounce. And this is something you should experiment with. Changing the shape, timing, or depth of this envelope completely changes the way the kick bounces. Now activate filter 1 and route only Oscillator A through it. For this sound, I'm using a high 18 filter. Increase the resonance and push the drive. The filter is going to help shape the brighter character of the oscillator, while also giving us another way to control how aggressive the kick feels. We'll come back to this filter later because it becomes really useful for changing the Zaag character. Now activate the sub-oscillator. Move it 1 octave down. Create LFO2, again in envelope mode, and map it to the sub-level. This gives us a separate low-end body underneath the main oscillator. The first oscillator is creating most of the movement and character. Now we need the transient. Create LFO3 and activate envelope mode. Go into the matrix and map it to main tuning. I'm using an amount of around 54 to 55%. Shape the envelope so the pitch starts higher and falls very quickly. This gives the beginning of the kick a sharper attack. That small pitch drop makes the first hit much more aggressive. Now we can start turning this into something much more aggressive. Before we continue, if you produce raw style, hard style, up-tempo, industrial, or any other hard dance genre, this is exactly the kind of sound design I build tools for inside Krosper. The Krosper Ultimate Bundle includes Serum 2 presets, kick systems, Ableton racks, generators, samples, MIDI, and production tools designed to help you reach sounds like this much faster. You can check it out through the link below. Now let's destroy this kick. Now let's move into the effects section. First, add distortion. For this kick, I'm using 0 square, which is one of the more aggressive distortion modes inside Serum 2. Right away, this gives the kick a much harder and more aggressive character. Now add hyperdimension. Turn the rate completely down and use only a small amount of mix. Drag hyperdimension above the distortion in the effects chain. Next, add a compressor. Turn on multiband mode. Lower the threshold a little bit, increase the gain, increase the below control, and push the low band pretty hard. At this point, the compressor is helping the kick feel more controlled, more solid, and heavier overall. After that, add utility. Then activate bass mono. This is important because even if the upper part of the kick has a little bit of stereo character, I still want the low end to stay centered and powerful. Now let's create another movement that helps define the Zaag side of this sound. Create LFO4 and put it in envelope mode. Go back to Oscillator A. In the warp section, select sync, then map LFO4 to that sync amount around the middle. What this is doing is affecting the second part of the bounce. That is a huge part of what makes this feel more like a bounce zag kick instead of just a normal distorted bounce kick. After that, go back to filter 1 and start moving the cutoff. This is where you can start shaping the overall tone of the kick. If the cutoff is lower, the kick feels darker and more controlled. If the cutoff is higher, it becomes sharper and more aggressive. So I like to map that cutoff to a macro. That way, I can control the character. Now let's add one more layer. Activate Oscillator B. And for this one, I'm using the same LFO that is controlling the sync movement. But now I'm mapping it to the level of Oscillator B. So Oscillator B only appears during the part of the kick where I want extra aggression and extra movement. This is where you can experiment a lot. Try different wavetables. Change the wavetable position. Listen to how each one changes the tone. Some options will sound sharper, some will sound dirtier, some will sound wider, and some will make the second part of the bounce feel much more aggressive. This is one of the easiest ways to get multiple variations out of the same preset structure. So this is the final result. Everything you just heard was built completely inside one Serum 2 preset. And the most important idea here is that this kind of sound comes from movement. And if you want to try this exact preset yourself, you can download it completely free from the first link below. Open it, study it, change the envelopes, move the filter, swap Oscillator B, and start making your own variations. And if you want to go much further, check out the Krosper Ultimate Bundle. It includes my hard dance kicks, Serum 2 presets, Ableton racks, generators, samples, MIDI, project files, and production tools designed to help you get professional results much faster. That's how you turn sound into power.